Today's game features a team that can get it done on the ground. The Bills are top 10 in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the Ravens defense that needs to be ready for that. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They come out here in the eye. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Now, Johnson, and he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
False start, offense.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Second down following the run.
We got three, fellas. We got three. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Right here.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And now the offense operates in the red zone. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Time running out here on the play clock. Looking to throw. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So a 3rd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He gets it to Brown, complete. 18 yards there and a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Let's go! The green 39! Green 39!
Now back to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still first down.
Let's go! Green 39!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Cost them.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Let's go. Green, 39. Over.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills defense, they make their way back out there. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger-pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
And got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They're going to look to throw. Out left side here to Bryant. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together that makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer.
Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
5 yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, it's Johnson. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. A couple of Bills team up to bring him down there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. This a 43-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Then a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. 10 yards to go on 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in the running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills have retaken the lead. And oh, it's blocked.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, It's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On second down, Johnson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Wide open receiver complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And that'll bring up second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop in 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He completes it to Bryant. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. 3rd quarter now. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Ravens defense, they get ready and they trot back out onto the field. They are down on the scoreboard as we begin the second half and looking to avoid a bigger deficit.
And I can just hear the coaches now. I can hear the head coach. Guys, first 5 minutes. First series of the second half. Offense or defense. You've got to set the tone.
They'll try to set that tone here. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it's second down. So the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
Partner, I know that ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on 3rd down. Back to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. So a costly penalty and now a tougher 3rd down situation. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. They're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's taken in at the 9. He had one man to beat. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Play clock winding down. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They brought him in off the corner, and he gets in to drop him for a loss of 4. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They come out here in the eye. Back to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play. But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
False start, offense.
8 yards to go here on 2nd down. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. They'll drop to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And some room to work. He cuts left sideline and a crease there. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A couple of Bills team up to bring him down there. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, we saw the pressure there on 3rd down, and we know that's not unusual, especially if they sense that he's going to pass the ball. But I will guarantee you that when that play call came in, the last instruction wasn't the play. It was, you know they're going to blitz. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Be ready for your hot routes and get rid of it. He did, but that one was incomplete.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game. His 3rd on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Back now here on EA Sports, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills now making their way back out onto the field. And they had a great 4th down stop last time that set their offense up great. Offense able to score. So offense probably over there saying, hey, do that again.
Exactly what they're saying. That's working together. That's being in tandem right there. Stop them on defense. Offense gets great field position, rolls in and puts points on the board. I think you're exactly right. Can you do it for us one more time? We'll take it.
And they'll try and do it again. 2nd down, 8. They'll look to throw. He's got time. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Bryant, the lone receiver, left.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Bryant with a catch right side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw again. Finding time. Look at the time. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it, and that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Let's go.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loaded in the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. A couple of Bills team up to bring him down there.
Here we go.
A quick give to Coleman. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
But that was definitely a surprise there. Handed to the big guy on 1st down. Heck, the first play of the drive. And when you see him get to the 2nd level, as a former safety, I can just tell you, your eyes get really wide because you know you've got a lot to deal with at that point.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
He's got time in the pocket, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
They run. It's Johnson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
4th and 2 is normally a passing down, but in this case, they decided to give it to their running back, and he did get the first down, although not by much.
They're going to look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Second down following the incompletion. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start, offense.
One receiver right, that's Brown. Now back to throw. Surveying the field. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And here is motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Backing up. And no, it's incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. The Bills getting set to go. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Ravens taking the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. That'll bring up second down. Second down now after the incompletion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. Blue landed.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Underneath for Johnson. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Let's go.
Back to throw now on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Can't find anyone open. All kinds of time. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got time. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself. Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Room here to run. Cuts it out here, left sideline. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. A handoff as they run the counter play. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake here on first down. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Bills, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills are victorious as we say so long from Buffalo.